We got a whole group there congregating. Hi Jeff, what's the latest?
They're going home.
They're going home?
Yeah, state police came. Megan talked them down.
And Megan talked.
They were told to pack up their saws and go somewhere else.
And what's the reason? What's the reason for removal?
Because Megan can talk.
She knows how to talk.
She knows how to negotiate.
Negotiate? Great. Thank you for leaving. Hi. Kentucky. Oh, hi. Safety first.
Don't get robbed in trouble.
So we got, what plates are these? Louisiana here.
So this morning
There's still a car coming through.
they came in to begin cutting. We went down. We had a very pleasant conversation with their security and with a representative from Williams. He informed us that they had a job to do. We denied them access to the property. They called in a couple of state police who listened to both of our sides of this and decided there was no action that they were going to take today.
Who decided no action?
And then
the company or the state police?
The state police.
So they said they wouldn't take action?
They had no action they were going to take today. We explained the situation to them. Everybody was very pleasant, very respectful, very polite. And our gentleman from Williams made the decision to move on today and to not work here.
So were they going to work someplace else?
I'm assuming they're moving on to another location, which they did not disclose. I'm assuming that at some point they'll be back, but hopefully today's interaction will inspire them to stay, to delay for as long as they can. So overall, it was a good meeting and it was a good conversation, and I think that we made some good progress with them. They chose to leave without pushing us into any action that
SWN is here.
Pleasant or illegal, or we were
gas
able
company.
to have a conversation with them, and they chose to leave for today. So
well, wonderful news, and
overall,
great
overall,
news.
It was a good morning.
And this is Ash Wednesday, we want to say.
Ash Wednesday.
And Marianne got the ashes, and we said we got the power of the church behind us. We got the power of the church and the Pope.
Hey guys,
Pope
let's
Francis.
go ahead and get up.
They're picking up the cones. Thank you.
The words could be spoken. She could not have spoken better. She was telling them, exactly what they needed to hear.
So do you think that I can refuse them access to the property? We refused their cutting of the property.
You refuse the cutting. And here comes the waste trucks that go up and down this road for years now to 2 impoundments up the road for the gas drilling, all the waste, liquid waste.
Megan explained the overall situation, pointing out that there's a lot of different areas they could cut. They don't need to cut this. If they cut the trees, they can't be put back, and that there's legal processes underway, so why don't they just wait? And that would be easier for everybody. She explained it to the state police. The state police said, so are you saying there's not going to be any cutting today? And she said, that's right. And the state police said, okay, we'll tell them that. Then the state police went over, talked to the cutters. Cutters got in their trucks and left. But
Make that decision.
Okay, we got the workers here coming, picking up the cones. So we got, and the stop signs, the traffic signs. We're going to go back to making maple syrup. And they're picking up their equipment. This is amazing. Ash Wednesday, I think, is helping. For those of us who believe in the invisible powers that be that can help what's visible. We got every power we're accessing and invoking. Sheehan Pipeline Construction with Oklahoma plates. Here comes another one. Thank you. Louisiana plates. Here's another pickup truck of the crew. Louisiana plates also. All right, we accomplished something big for today. Is Megan on the phone? There goes Uncle. He's a fast one.
That we portray this as they recognized that we had valid arguments and they chose not to take advantage of the situation.
Perfect.
And I'd like to make sure that we do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I think they'll probably want.
Okay, we got Channel 16 News here. Hi guys, thanks for coming.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello.
You missed them. Hi, welcome back. Good to see you. We're hugging now. We're all huggers. We thought they were about to start cutting trees. So that's kind of where we're at. And these are the things I discussed with the police. And they listened. You know, everybody was very willing to listen and was very. It was a really good interaction.
You wouldn't
actually
describe it as a confrontation
I
at all?
absolutely wouldn't. I would just. It was a discussion. And even the Williams representative, who's the big bad evil Williams representative, he was very respectful. He was very nice. He was not at all aggressive or hostile towards us. He was just stating his position. He listened to mine, and he was willing to do so. And then. He didn't push it, and I think he could have chosen to, and I appreciate that he didn't. He chose to leave, and I think that to us that kind of means that they're probably not so certain of their legal position either, but that's a speculation.
Yeah.
On my part.
Okay. But it looked to you like they showed up with the team to do the job.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was enough.
Absolutely. They had their full
They were
crew.
here to do it.
Most
They
of
were
their
fully
crew was
ready.
present for our conversation. They were able to listen, and one of them, I believe, was videotaping as well. We were videotaping, and as were they. They asked us not to use any audio, but we have been videotaping it, and we have cameras, out, and they did the same. And their whole crew was there. They had 15 guys with chainsaws,
Okay.
in the trucks. They
trucks,
weren't
but
they weren't like running after us with chainsaws. They were.
They had
but
a couple
prepared.
chainsaws out in a
They
box
blocked off
that
half
they
the
were
road. They
sort
parked
of
along the road. About 6 trucks blocked. And that's how they've been doing this. I don't know how the permitting for that works, but they block off half the road and they have flaggers on each end.
Okay.
And then cut it down to one lane. They put all their signs out and everything, and then they park like their 6 trucks. They all gear up. They let their chainsaw crews go in. Sometimes they move the trucks. Sometimes they stay there. And then the guys go in and start cutting, and that's how they've been doing everywhere else, and that's absolutely what we're intending.
I think it's fair to say that if we hadn't been here, they would have
if
gone
nobody
ahead
had-
and done the job.
They were here to do the
We
job.
had we had about a 5-minute, 30-person response team that came in, because there were only about 5 people here when they showed
At the
up.
time.
But all
The
these
call
people
went out in a hurry.
All these people were here within about 5 minutes. Our mobilization was amazing.
Okay. Hi, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
We will run an update on this.
All right, yeah,
Obviously, when
great.
We're here, so if we can ask you a couple questions,
Absolutely.
just what happened this morning.
Yeah, and
We'll
where
probably talk to you too, because you live here, and so.
Okay, she's yep, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and wherever you'll be the real season. This is just the early season. Okay, go ahead.
Just this morning, are you pleased with what happened in this first step?
Absolutely. I think that the interaction we had with the Williams representatives, with the tree cutting crews this morning, and went as well as it possibly could have. Everybody was very respectful and pleasant. Everyone was very willing to hear the other side and to consider it, and I think that the mutual respect was what allowed this to be a non-confrontational situation where I think everybody kind of came out on top.
You had to wonder if this would be a confrontation. I mean,
Absolutely. We were prepared to to put up a resistance, to be here on the property, to be along be here near the right of way where they're working, not with the intent of causing any harm or any conflict, but to be here to or whether or not law enforcement would recognize that. And they did call in state troopers. We requested the presence of state troopers who were very pleasant as well, and spoke to the Williams representative and then spoke to myself. And the police chose not to take any action here today. And for whatever reason, they chose not to enforce either their right to cut trees or to chase off the company. And so they just informed the representatives of their position, and the Williams representative chose to leave. And I think that was a fair decision on his part.
You have to know this isn't over. They're
Absolutely
not just turning
not.
away.
Absolutely not. Although it's encouraging to us. The tone of our interaction today was very encouraging to us to know that this doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be an all-out battle every time we speak to people. We don't have to be yelling or we don't have to dislike them, and they don't have to dislike us. We can try to do this as pleasantly as possible, and hopefully the legalities will speak for themselves, and we won't have to do this again. This probably isn't over, but in the time that we may have gained today, there's a lot of legal issues which could put a stop to the whole thing, and then I won't ever have to meet those very nice state troopers again, and we'll just be able to focus on our maple syrup making.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now your turn.
Anything I can add to that?
Well, you live here, and these are the trees you look at all the time, so
Yeah.
we want to talk to you too.
Okay.
Is this okay here, Steve? Were you there for all this morning?
I was actually at church when they showed up, but for Ash Wednesday, but I came back and they were already here when I got back. But the police had not shown up yet. They showed up after I got back.
You had to think this was it.
Yeah, I was. I started to cry. I thought this was it. My trees are gone. But we held them off one more day.
What do you think of that, of being able to do that, and that this group is having an impact?
Oh, I'm elated. I am so happy. I'm so pleased that they're waiting, and it is a legal issue. And if the courts go our way, we'll be okay. But it's up to the courts to decide this. It's we shouldn't have to be out here standing and interrupting and arguing with the tree cutters. This is not between us. It's between the courts.
Do you think if all these people hadn't showed up, that they would have just gone ahead?
Oh yeah. Our trees they'd be cutting right now. They'd be out here cutting them right now if it wasn't for this. Absolutely. We have this great support of everybody, and I really appreciate it.
And I guess the one thing too is that once they cut, even if this is in the courts and determined, oh wait, they shouldn't, there's no going back.
You can't put them back. Yeah, it's not like they're digging up the ground and they can just fix it and smooth it out. Once you cut a tree, that's it. It's gone, and it takes years and years and years and decades to regrow a forest. So the longer we can hold it until it is settled, the better.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks.
So good.
Lou ain't gonna put them back up.
So it was very good natured, very reasonable.
Channel 16 leaving now. We'll be getting some more media coming in. Fox 40 is on their way.